Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. We're going to be doing a reading today for the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be Aquarius Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, as well as the cross watcher of the Aquarian. And if you don't know your different sign placements, you can check out a website such as astro.com and find those out. I always recommend that if this doesn't resonate, you check out your moon, check out your rising, check out your Venus. This is a general reading, so it will not resonate with everyone. Take what fits and leave the rest. But we're looking at energies for Aquarius, October 2020. And we're using the Weaver Tarot to start you guys out today. Ooh, all right. First card out for Aquarius is the High Sage. And so this would be likened to the High Priestess in the traditional tarot. And so I like that energy for you guys. This is the energy of your higher self, your intuition. The High Priestess knows and sees all. She is the keeper of the secrets. She has access to the Akashic records. And so I'm feeling this energy, this very mystical energy surrounding you guys this month. This energy of really stepping into your role as the High Priestess in your own life. Like an evolution spiritually, as far as the way that you guys are connecting with your intuition, the way that you're noticing synchronicities, the way that you're able to put pieces together. I feel like there are secrets that are going to come out into the open this month. Things that were kept from you for a reason, for your growth, that are now ready to be revealed. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. And that's coming out with the Lovers. And so these may be secrets around love, things coming to light, things. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of destiny, right? So destined and fated events. So I feel as though things that were hidden from you coming to light. And so for some of you, this could indicate that you are finding something out about your lover and then have to make a decision. But I'm feeling this also as, for a lot of you, like, somebody is being brought into your life. Let's get more on the Lovers. Let's get more on this Wheel of Fortune Lovers energy. Somebody is being brought into your reality, or being unveiled to you, that maybe you hadn't noticed or seen before for a reason. And then we have the Four of Coins, which is akin to the Four of Pentacles, right? So this is like holding on too tightly. And so I'm feeling as though, for some of you, this has to do with twin flame type energy or any type of soulmate, whatever, they're just labels. But some type of energy where there is somebody, but I'm feeling like whoever it is that I'm channeling this for, you guys may have identified with that label. And so take this however it resonates, but as though you were holding on really tightly to an idea of a certain person being your twin flame, or a certain person being, and if you don't identify with that label, being something to you, right? Being a certain type of soulmate, a certain person in your life. And because you were holding on so tightly to this idea of this person, you are missing what was right in front of you. There was something else, someone else, something right in front of you that you were not able to see because you were so convinced that things were the way that you thought they were, right? It's this person. It's this way. This person is like that. This person believes that. This person is doing that. And you weren't able to see other scenarios and other possibilities because of that. Any other energies here? This is interesting. Okay. All right. So we have the Ruler of Swords, which would be the King of Swords. The Tower. Ooh. And the Two of Swords. So I'm feeling this almost as, the way that I'm feeling these is, there is a choice, there's a decision that you've been needing to make. There's definitely a decision with the Lovers and the Two of Swords coming out here. There is definitely a decision that for some of you, like maybe you've been needing to make for a while regarding a romantic partner, regarding somebody in your life in this way. And you've been just sort of in this place of not really being able to discern what to do, right? The High Priestess, she was hiding this information from you because it wasn't yet time for you to see. And so at this point, you are being given the clarity to make that decision. This is the King of Swords I'm feeling with this vibe, right? And this is air sign energy, Aquarius, your energy, Libra, Gemini. But this is that energy of logic. This is that energy of being able to see clearly and logically. And I'm being drawn to all the eyes here. So it's definitely a sight thing. It's definitely, but sight in this way doesn't mean like this. It means like this, right? You're able to see into the heart of a situation and really understand what it is that you need to do. And this for some is going to be an epiphany. For others of you, there is an outer event, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune card here too. Destined and fated events and opportunities. There is something that shakes you awake, some sort of outer event for some that causes this understanding of what it is that you need to do in order to move forward. It's sort of like for those of you who are really stuck, something shakes you out of being stuck, and it shows you undoubtedly what the situation is and what is needed on your part, what you need to do in order, like what that decision is that you've been stuck on, whether it's do I go or do I stay? Do I work this out or do I not? Is this my person or is this not? For those of you who related to that, the twin flame dynamic thing, it's like you understand once and for all you know the answer to your question. And even if you don't know for sure still, right, because it's so mysterious, that twin flame dynamic, right? Even if you aren't for certain about whether they are or they aren't, you know what you have to do. You know whether you need to stay or whether you need to go, because that information is finally revealed to you. And for some of you, this may come in the form of another person entering the equation, whether it's a person that tells you something, whether it's a third party situation, whatever that may be. We're not getting any cards for that, but I'm just saying whatever's coming into my vision or whatever. So yeah, it could be different things, but something is going to spark this understanding and this realization that's going to move you out of the stuck energy. And yeah, for some of you guys, it is somebody coming in that you had overlooked and hadn't noticed before, and the way that you feel about them outshines the way that you felt for this other person. And you begin to realize and understand some things. For some of you, it's some type of other outer event that forces your hand, where you were in a situation where you felt you weren't able to leave for whatever reason. You weren't able to make the decision that you needed to make, and now fate is basically forcing your hand. Like, it's time to get off the fence. And like, this is what's happening right now, right? We are moving forward. There is, even though Mars is in retrograde, right? We are moving forward. We are constantly growing and evolving. There is no time to stay stagnant anymore. So if you have been stagnant for too long, you are being moved. This is divine intervention to get you to the path that you need to go. So whatever comes up in your reality right now, look at it as a blessing. Whatever's being revealed to you, trust it. You can trust that now. The High Priestess is revealing what you need to see. You have to be willing to see it. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away, right? This is moving on to something more emotionally fulfilling, walking away from that which is not. And once again, we see the eye on the top there, right? I know these cards are so gorgeous, the way the light reflects and everything. So it's like all of these cups, right? And then the light comes up and we see illuminated the eye, right? The knowledge, the understanding, and you walk away. I see you walking away from that which is no longer serving you. For some of you, you're walking away from someone to somebody else. For some of you guys, you're just walking away because it's a time whatever is revealed about them, what's going on with them, about a situation that maybe you felt like you didn't have enough clarity on to make a choice, you now have that clarity to make that choice. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. So that's heartbreak, betrayal, loss. This could be a very, very painful situation for some. But if it is a painful situation, that's okay. That's what's necessary. That may be what was needed to get you out of this energy, right? this Four of Pentacles energy to stop, to finally release you from holding on too tightly for something that doesn't serve you. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And this energy that I'm feeling, like, if there isn't another person coming in and you're just like, what the hell, like, this is just a complete shit show and there's nothing, like, you are being prepared for something better, and that something better will come along. It's just the timing, it's all in perfect divine timing, so you have to be ready for that right now. This is part of what prepares you and makes you ready for that, is the ability to walk away. To walk away, to understand what's no longer serving you, to be able to accept that as a reality, and to be able to walk away from that. And remember, these situations can be reversed. This is a general reading, so this could be somebody walking away from you. You'll know how that fits and resonates for you. Clear. All right, let's get some Moonology cards here on this situation. What does the Moonology deck have to say? What does the Moonology deck have to say about this situation here? All right. And we got a new romantic cycle begins and a time for healing. Boom. There you go, you guys, right? This is, you walk away and a new romantic cycle begins, right? Because you're making space for that. You're making room for that. But first, the healing. And for some of you guys, this healing needs to happen first before this new person comes in. For others of you, when this new person comes in, they are going to, like, you may have a period of healing, right? But when this new person comes in, they are going to help facilitate that healing. They're going to heal you on a deeper level. It's going to be whatever relationship comes out of this, whatever partnership comes out of this for you, it is going to be incredibly healing if you allow it. And so this is the important part to remember in this is, do not close yourself off. Do not shut down because you're afraid of being hurt again, right? This is, the heart is breaking, right? We have this energy, right? To let the light in. But you have to let the light in. And so a lot of us, when we go through these painful situations, we want to shut our hearts down to protect them, right? But that's not helping. You deserve love. And just because you did not receive it the way that you thought that you should, could, or would in this situation, doesn't mean that you don't deserve that, and doesn't mean that that is not waiting for you. This was getting you closer to it. That's the thing that we don't realize about these situations sometimes, is they bring us closer to that. Some of the most painful romantic situations I've experienced in my life actually brought me closer to love than the relationships with the people that cared for me the most easily and the deepest, right? Because those places where I didn't receive love, I had to learn how to give that kind of love to myself, right? If you're not going to validate me, I have to learn how to validate me. If you're not going to love me, all of a sudden, I have to learn how to love myself. Right? I have to learn that I am worth that without somebody standing there telling me that every day. And so these, like, everyone is a teacher and everything is a gift. And so when we're going through this kind of pain, it's so important to remember that, and to be thankful for the gift of that and what it taught us and what it prepared us for. Sometimes we have to have another heartbreak, right? In order to learn and in order to grow and in order to break us open so that we're ready to embrace and experience what's next. Yeah. And then underneath that, we have the Conqueror of Cups, which I believe is the Knight of Cups, which is that romantic energy coming in. So I love that. I love that. All right. And it's interesting, there's a raven right in the middle of this Three of Swords card. It's not a heart like you would typically see. It's a raven or a crow or some type of bird. So that's really fascinating. I'm just noticing that now. So that the raven may have some significance to somebody. Yeah. And the crow, when I think of crows, I think of spirit, right? I think of spirits, deceased loved ones. And so I feel like for some of you guys, what this is making me think of is that this situation also for some of you was a karmic situation. This was a past life soulmate, a past life energy, right? A karmic soulmate, somebody that you were also cleaning up karma with. So this all had to go down exactly the way it went down. Do not allow that to discourage you. We don't carry our baggage with us, right? We don't assume just because something happened one way with somebody, it's going to happen that same way with somebody else, right? Everything is a new lesson. If we learn the lesson, we don't have to repeat it. So there's no reason to expect that the next time we enter into a relationship, that lesson's going to be repeated. If we've learned it, if we've internalized it, if we've done the healing, we don't have to experience that again. And there was a lot of deep healing and balancing of karmic scales that happened for some of you during this, whatever this relationship was. And that karma is concluded when you walk away. With love, if you can. I know it's a tall order sometimes. And then we have the You Are Good Enough, full moon and Virgo card coming out. You are worthy, you are good enough. Do not ever allow any outside situation, right, to tell you that you are not. This is where that validation piece that I was talking about comes in, right? We look outside for validation sometimes, and if we don't receive that, that's what we're trained to do, right? If we don't receive that on the outside, then we internalize that and we take that as truth. And we are learning how to look inside for that validation, how to know that we are good enough, not because people treat me like I'm good enough. Although when we do know that, without a doubt, people do. That's just part of how energy works, right? But when we don't know that, sometimes people don't. Right? A lot of times people don't, because they are mirroring back and reflecting back to us the energy that's true in our heart of hearts, what our belief is about ourselves in our heart of hearts. And so that's another lesson that we can learn as well when we see the way these interactions are taking place, is like, what is this reflecting about what I believe is true about me? And am I ready to discard that? Am I ready to believe something else? Am I ready to believe that I am worthy? I don't even like the term enough. You are good enough. Like, what does that mean, good enough? Good enough for what, right? You are great. That's what I would like to rephrase this to say. You are great. You are amazing, right? And it's knowing that, not being so hard on yourself, not picking yourselves apart, right? Don't pick yourself apart. Don't pick other people apart. Virgo energy can do that sometimes, right? And we don't want to be in that energy. It's like allowing, part of this healing is around this energy of worthiness. That's what some of this healing needed to be. That's why I was led to talk about that situation or situations in my own life and what I learned from that. That's why, because that's what it was a lesson of for me, is my worthiness. And that's what a lot of you are healing right now, is these feelings of worthiness. And this situation, however it played out, like I said, I was picking up some third party energy for some people, just a whole lot of just fuckery, basically, right? But it was to show you your self-worth, so you could find that for yourself. And when we find that, when we begin coming into that, then all of a sudden we expect and we demand nothing less, right? We always expect what it is that we think we are worthy of. And we may not outwardly understand it, right? But when we look at the situations in our lives, we can see it reflected to us. There was a long time where I felt that I had really strong self-worth. But if I looked at my outer relationship, especially these romantic relationships, right? Something different was being mirrored back to me. And so it was uncomfortable, but I really had to look at that. And that's what a lot of us are being challenged to do right now. That is part of your healing, is your understanding of that you are worthy, right? That you are worthy and you are more than enough, right? Enough is like the baseline. That's why I don't like that word. We are far above the baseline, right? You are more than enough. Anything else? And then we have the new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. And so whenever this card comes up, it always makes me think of family situations and people worried about that, and just the knowledge that whoever it is that you're worrying about, whoever it is that may be affected by the situation, whether you have children, whether there are children involved, whatever the situation is, just know that, like, they will be okay. They will be okay and they will be cared for. And this is also just that nurturing. It's that I'm picking up that mothering vibe very much here. Very much here. Yeah. That nurturing mother energy. Okay. And prosperity lies ahead kept staying on the bottom of the deck, so that's great. That's always great, right? Yeah, nope, this is what I want to do for you guys. I want to pull a Divine Feminine card for you guys too to close this out. What guidance do we have from the Divine Feminine? right? And prosperity would lie ahead, right? That would come because as we know our worth, right? Besides relationships, one of the greatest outward manifestations or barometers that we can use for our self-worth is to look at our financial situation, because money and abundance reflects self-worth. So if we have difficulty making money, keeping money, having money, right? Embracing and receiving money, giving money, that is a self-worth issue. So as because money is just another type of energy, right? Money is a way, especially in this society, and money doesn't determine your worth, but we get programmed with that, and it's a subconscious thing, it's an energetic thing. So if you look at your finances, you can determine your level of self-worth in that way as well. So as that self-worth increases, as you learn to nurture yourself, that's where that mothering energy was coming from. Virgo is a very nurturing card as well, right? The sign of the servant. And with the cancer energy, the mothering card, it's this learning how to care for, nurture, and mother yourself. That's another lesson. That's another aspect that you're healing. Learning how to be gentle with yourselves, right? You guys, you operate from a place of logic a lot of the time. You're an air sign, right? Very logical, can be a bit detached at times. And so and this has come up for you guys before, I think, this healing of the emotions, of you feeling safe expressing your emotions and being guided by those, right? Yeah. And learning how to be loving and gentle with yourselves. Okay. And so we have Queen Esther, the Morning Star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Right? The ego is not our enemy. We're taught that, right? But it's not the ego. This was actually a daily reading that I did. It was either this week or last week, and that was the title of it, is The Ego Exists to Serve the Soul. And so really coming into an understanding of that, and that when we realize how to work with the ego instead of against it, right? And it's this nurturing energy, again, nurturing and mothering our own egos, right? Like thanking our egos, giving our egos credit for keeping us alive, having that loving, compassionate energy toward our ego, and then telling our ego, thank you for all that you've done. I don't need you right now. I'll call you when I do. It's a way to work with those energies instead of against it, right? Like our ego is our survival instinct, right? It is our identity in a whole lot of ways, and that can be used productively if we know how to shift that energy. If we are looking at anything as our enemy, we are putting that charge into the situation, and it's always going to be a situation it's going to have that battle kind of energy to it. We don't want to be in battle, right, against anything, least of all our egos, because our ego is there to serve us. Yes, and the divine timing, and that landed right on top of a new romantic cycle begins with the time for healing. So all in divine timing, my friends. And then Dakini, the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. And that's perfect, right? That's that high priestess energy that started out the reading, really learning how to tune into and trust your own intuition. For some of you guys, it's like you've been sitting on the fence for a long time needing to make a decision, right? And intuitively, instinctively, you knew what you needed to do. You knew the truth. You were just doubting that you knew it. And the high priestess was keeping things hidden enough that it allowed for that doubt. And so now your instincts are being confirmed. And this is also teaching you and showing you you can trust your instincts. You guys are really coming into a period of being able to do that, right? Not just trust your logical minds, but trust your intuition and your instinct. Yeah. And the more you get that confirmation, the more you trust it. And the more you trust it, the more you get that confirmation. It's really beautiful how that works. Yeah. 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 I think that's it. Do we want one more card? Oh, these cards are so gorgeous. For Aquarius. Do we have one more Divine Feminine card? Oh, we have two. Okay. All right. We have the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. And that's perfect, because that's just what we're talking about, right? The pain and suffering, the heartbreak, the betrayal, all of these things, do not shut your heart down as a result. Transform that. Become the alchemist, right? Transform that into more love, into a greater and stronger version of love, right? Allow yourself, instead of shutting your heart down, allow that experience to open you up to loving even more and even bigger. So that's just confirmation of the importance of that. And then we have Yamoja. Ooh, I've never seen her before. The goddess of all that flows. And if I'm not mistaken, your reading last month was called Flow. I may be getting you mixed up with another sign, but I'm pretty sure that was the name of your reading last month. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Yes. So utilize that love energy, you guys. Utilize that creative energy, right? Take your pain and turn it into gold. Create art with it. Express yourselves. Utilize whatever inspiration. As you are connected more to your higher self, that inspiration is going to flow as well. So really allow yourself to get connected with that, to express that in whatever way feels appropriate for you. This is like with the Dakini being the enlightened feminine. I'm definitely feeling that divine feminine energy of the empowering of that divine feminine. I mean, yeah, these are goddess cards, so they're going to be, feminine, but I'm feeling that energy. This is so absolutely beautiful. Yes, whatever is within you, unleash it on the world. Let it out, let it shine. Yeah. So much intuitive. I'm just being drawn to the eye here. Like, you guys have so much intuitive guidance coming through. Your intuition is so loud right now. So channel that into the most productive means possible. Channel your pain into the most productive means possible. Allow that healing. For some of you may come through art. It may come through art. Allow that healing to happen however it needs to happen. Know that you are good enough. Know that you are worthy. Oh, there we go. I said it. You are not good enough. You are great. You are so absolutely incredible, and do not ever forget it. If you do, even for a second, I will be here to remind you how amazing you are, Aquarius. I love you all so much. I appreciate you so very much. And yeah, I know you guys saw me looking. On the bottom of the deck, we had my Bago, the warrior saint. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. So you guys, turning on that love, turning on that heart portal, right? Don't be afraid, because there is so much. It's not just new love that's going to bring in. It's not just healing. It's not just creativity, right? It's going to bring transmutation, all of that, as if that were not enough. It's also going to bring in more resources when it comes to your abundance, right? We had that abundance. Prosperity lies ahead right here, right? Boom. And then another card on the bottom of the deck here. 2 cards on the bottom of the deck indicating prosperity and financial resources. And what that says to me is that that's what's coming ahead for you, right? We're not quite there yet, maybe, but that's what's coming ahead. But in order to get there, first, we have to complete this cycle. We have to walk away from what's not serving us, really claim our worth, claim our power, know that we are worthy, know that we are good enough, right? Heal that, allow that heart chakra to heal, allow that heart chakra to open, right? Wider than it was before. Really embrace that. Step into the empowerment of that, of loving fully, right? The way that a goddess loves. Goddesses love with their entire heart and their entire being, and they aren't afraid of being hurt because they know that they are all that is, right? When we are all that is, there is nothing that we can possibly lose, right? We can only gain. The power of love only strengthens, right? It only strengthens, it never weakens. I love you all so very, very much. There are links to my services down below. You can check out my email. I offer personal readings. I offer really powerful energy healings, ascension transit charts, a whole bunch of different stuff. Look that up if you are interested and you would like some assistance. There are links to donate as well down below. Drop a comment. Let me know how this resonated. Make sure to like this video. That definitely helps the videos to get out to more people when you do that. Share, subscribe if you haven't yet. You guys know the drill. All that stuff that I have to say, right? But yes, so much love and so much appreciation. Have an incredible month of October.